welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with my good friends, Slothy and Brian, who I am introducing this weekend. Slothy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Pretty good weekend. Went out for lots of food, got lots of time to relax a little bit. I just felt tired the last little bit, so no magic this weekend, but Brian and I went for food last night, and yeah, I was just talking before this about how you and I got to go for food as well, too. Anyone who knows me in person knows I'm a larger gentleman who likes to go and eat some food. So
he's like the Godfather. He just sits at buffet tables.
I'm definitely a fan of going out to eat and stuff, so it was definitely pretty nice. Some good news with work stuff, so yeah, it was just a nice little weekend to celebrate a little bit. Thank you, Brian. And Brian, how are you doing?
Excellent. I'm actually going out to be playing some cards later, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, that's not too bad.
No, I'm gonna see how my decks play. I think I overpowered some of them, so I gotta try to limit them a little bit more.
Test how they're actually performing a little bit.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to find that balance a lot of times. This one that we're talking about seems like it's fairly low-ish powered, unless people leave it alone, in which case it seems like it's a very large problem, you know?
Yeah. No puns intended.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So this weekend's episode, we've got Kenessos, the Priest of Thassa, and this is a card from the Jumpstart stuff that I was just super in love with, because this is a really fun tribe in general, and it's basically high CMC tribal at this point. Kenessos is 1 and a blue for a Merfolk cleric, and Merfolk's a great tribe. Cleric's a great tribe. There's not really blue clerics, but it's a 1/3. It is, if you would scry a number of cards, you scry that many +1 instead. So that turns a lot of the really, really low power, like scry 1 cards, into much more powerful. And then it has another ability, 3, and then a hybrid green or blue. You look at the top 7. Look at the top card of your library. If it's Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent, you may put it on the battlefield. If you don't put it on the battlefield, you may put it on the bottom. I wish that said scry the top so that you could look at 2, but I understand why it doesn't.
Yeah. That sounds pretty neat, though.
It's definitely a cool ability to be able to trigger. Instant speed drop Krakens if they're on the top of the deck is pretty silly. I've named the episode Whats Kraken. I think I'm hilarious. So yeah, we'll jump right into the artifacts and stuff, but this deck really cares about scrying and about getting these multi-tribe Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent out. And
this first artifact looks like it's so weird.
Yeah, you take it, Brian.
It looks like a clam head. Or at least that's what reminds my East Coast brain.
A weird shrunken head, yeah.
Yeah. So we got Brainstone here, 1 colorless. Tap 2 colorless and tap it to sacrifice Brainstone, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. So you can stack those Krakens.
Yes.
Or Serpents. Or Octopi.
Get the Kraken stacking.
Oh.
The whole deck is... It's going to be that the whole deck.
The puns. It's a pun deck.
This deck is very pun. Leave me be.
Very punny.
Slothy, you want this next one?
Yeah. We got Midnight Clock, 2 and a blue. You can tap it for a blue. You can tap 2 and a blue to put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock, and when the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards and exile Midnight Clock.
Yeah, I just generally love this as a mana rock.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
It's difficult to remember that it's every upkeep that ticks up and not just yours. It's not around for 12 turns.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that this deck, we should have a lot of mana. We want to trigger that ability as much as we can. So being able to power dump the stuff into the reset of the hand is pretty good, as well as drawing 7 Krakens potentially late game when we've got our mana is also pretty good.
I like this card, actually.
Yeah, I love Midnight Clock. It's pretty cool. We've got a Quicksilver Amulet in here because, obviously, it's 4 mana. Pay 4, tap it, you can put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. The deck is about cheating things out for 4 mana, so it seems very in line with what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I like it. Actually, I'm just like, to put that into Urza.
The Quicksilver?
Yeah.
Cheap
Just
life
make.
steal.
And I can pay for.
Yep.
Next up, we just have a battle rock. We got Simic Locket. 3 colorless. You can tap it for a green or a blue. You can pay. What's this kind of mana called again? The
Hybrid.
mixed mana. Hybrid.
Yeah.
Blue and green. 4 of them, and tap it to sacrifice the Simic Locket. Draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Hey, draw some late cards if you don't need the mana anymore.
Sloth, do you want this next one?
Yeah. Next up, we got Talisman of Curiosity. 2 mana. You can tap it for a colorless or tap it for green and a blue, and it'll deal 1 damage.
Yes, shockingly missing from this list, a Soul Ring. I'm out of Soul Rings. I have too many decks with Soul Rings, and I'm not taking things apart. So I need more Soul Rings. If you're building this, you should probably put in a Soul Ring. But to be honest, you don't super need one, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you could put one in.
There wasn't even Arcane Signet.
Yeah, an Arcane Signet would be great. There's lots of great spots, but we have like a really big creature section. You'll see. So the last one on our artifact list is the Temporal Anchor, and this is a really, really cool card for this deck. It's 3 colorless, 3 blue. It's a legendary artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you scry 2, which is going to be great for us. Whenever you choose to put 1 or more cards on the bottom, exile that many cards from your library. During your turn, you can play cards exiled with Temporal Anchor.
If Temporal Anchor leaves, are you still able to play those cards?
I don't think you would be able to. Yeah, Temporal Anchor would be the one letting you play it. But generally speaking, when this is out and stuff, we're going to be scrying our lands to the bottom. So this is going to give us, with our commander out, a scry 3 at a minimum. And almost always we should be at least hitting a land in our 3, I'm hoping. Unless we've got a bad time. So we'll be able to put those, put 3 to the bottom, exile those 3 and like hit our land drop still. We still can stack the top of the deck with Krakens and things that we want to come out. Like the Temporal Anchor is really going to help us out by turning that scry into cards that we can play. We still got to pay for them, but that's okay.
I didn't know this card was a Kraken.
This one?
Your very first one.
Oh yeah, go ahead and take it. It's a cool card.
Oh, I thought I had no idea what the creature type was. Yeah. I just knew that it was a creature. So we got a Rixmithes, the Slumbering Isle, 2 green and a blue. Legendary creature, Kraken, which blew my mind. When the Slumbering Isle enters the battlefield tapped, with 5 slumbering counters on it, as long as it has slumber counters on it, it's a land. Whenever you cast a spell, you may remove a slumbering counter from Rixmithes, and you can tap it and add a blue and a black. Or sorry, blue and a green.
Yeah. I like this. It's a
12/12.
Yeah, it's a giant 12/12 creature that gives us mana ramp. A 12/12 for 4 is pretty cool.
Yeah.
A really, really fun thing is everyone complaining about the new Elish Norn. This will just let me drop a 12/12 for 4 mana if you have Elish Norn out. So go ahead and shut my ETBs off if you want. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt if you do, but yeah. Yeah, anything that removes counters or like makes it so things don't enter with counters, or an end the turn effect so that it enters and then has that ETB effect, you'll just get your 12/12 that taps for 2 mana. Let's end with creatures. We're gonna skip to.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll end with creatures. I like my creature section the most. So let's go down to our enchantments. We'll pretend Rixmithes was unknown. The first one is a card that's amazing for this deck. This is Awakening. It's a card that just recently got reprinted with a list printing, making it like a $5 card or $6 card, whatever. It's 2 double green. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, untap all creatures and all lands. That's generally kind of got a little bit of a downside, but I have a 4 mana sink that I can potentially literally flood the board with Leviathans and Krakens. It's going to be significantly better for me that my like 12/12s and 10/10s and stuff untap every turn, and that I just get to like play Kraken roulette off the top of my deck every turn. Like your little elves untapping aren't going to be as big of an issue as like my big old Kraken boys. Yeah. Awakening really, really is going to put in a ton of work and let us trigger that ability the most. Because that's, at the end of the day, I'm a simple man who likes to play Kraken roulette.
Can you tell the Dan's into anime?
Kraken roulette. All the tentacles, yeah.
Oh man. Next up we have Garruk's Uprising.
Garruk,
Two
you
and a
animal. Garruk, you animal.
Potato. When Garruk's Uprising enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
That's going to be great to stack with your... Because if you know what you're scrying to the top all the time, you're like, I will bring in a Kraken, and this will let me draw a card, and I will play that land, and then I'll try Kraken Roulette again.
And all my Krakens have trample.
Yeah, we're not really playing as much Roulette as I'm making it out to be, because we do have a lot of top deck control.
As blue does.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got In Search of Greatness, 2 green. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with mana value equal to 1 plus the highest mana value among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost. And if you don't, scry 1.
I removed this card from my decks because it really, I thought it was going to put in work, but it didn't. But I can see why you have it for the scry.
Well, the scry and for the giant octopuses, because it's 1 plus the highest CMC, right?
Yeah.
So, I like it. At worst case, it's just giving me extra opportunities to scry.
Yeah.
Just like this next card, Mystic Redaction. 2 and a blue, a card you don't really see in Commander very often, which I like. It's at the beginning of your upkeep, you scry 1, and whenever you discard a card, each opponent mills 2. No one really cares about that much, but yeah, this one's a phenomenally strong card in draw decks, and no one's really playing it right now. But like, if I make myself draw 30, and then I have to discard 23 cards and make everyone mill 46, that's rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mystic Redaction's great.
I have a Mesmeric Orb in my Urza deck, and my friends did not enjoy that.
Make 30 Mesmeric Orbs pass the turn?
Yeah.
That's gross. You're a bad person.
I also run the Ginge taxes, so shh.
People have earned it, Brian.
I'm going to let you have this one because I'm not even going to bother with that first word.
The Netherese Puzzle Ward.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
3 and a blue, it's got Focus Beam. At the beginning of your upkeep, you roll a d4 and you scry X, where X is the result. And it has Perfect Illumination. Whenever you roll a die's natural highest result, you draw a card. So
that's cool.
Yeah, every time I'm getting my Nat 4s. Okay.
I don't know if anyone actually calls Nat 4s, but
I'm calling it a Nat 4 if I get it on this.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Roll that Nat 20.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be great.
I've rolled a Nat 12, guys.
Yeah.
Everything's a Nat.
Yeah. Me just at the craps table. Oh, Nat 6. Daniel, you have to leave.
You're playing the wrong game.
Yeah.
So we got Quest for Ulla's Temple. Is it Ulla?
I think it's Ula. I think you're right.
Ula?
First time, yeah.
Ula. So it's 1 blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put a quest counter on Quest for Ulla's Temple. At the beginning of each end step, if there are 3 or more quest counters on Quest for Ulla's Temple, you may put a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, terrifying.
At the beginning of each end step, every turn.
Yeah, that's something I want to do.
Yeah, first off, it's hilarious. Second off, I just like to threaten the table in games a lot. So it's really fun to, at the beginning of my upkeep, look at the top card of my library, which I usually will know. And if for some reason I don't know what it is, know that it's a Kraken and flash it at the table and be like, hey, So what's up?
You better be nice to me.
Yeah. I really like Quest for Ulla's Temple. It does a lot.
Oh, this card's definitely going to put in work here.
Slothy, you want to take this one?
Yeah. We got Training Grounds. It's blue. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost up to 2 less to activate. This effect can reduce the amount of mana an ability costs to activate to less than 1 mana. 2 mana, get any Kraken off the top of your library.
Yeah, that's
not bad.
Kind of gross. I was going to put the Biomancer's Familiar in 2, but it just, I was out of creature slots. There was just not enough.
So now you got to test play it and see if there's something that doesn't work as well.
Yeah. Then we also...
You just got to kind of basic.
Yeah, true. It's already pretty low on these basics. We've already got Wilderness... We also have Wilderness Reclamation. 3 and a green. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control, which again, we definitely care about doing. That's a big thing we want to do, is have our lands untapped. Slothy even made a comment, by the way, at the beginning that he was proud of me. He didn't say it in those words, but I saw it in his eyes that he was proud of me that there was more than one instant in this deck.
Yeah, I
would have taken proud into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I made a comment that they're not good instants, but they're there.
I mean, yeah. But
you want to start us off with them?
Yeah. We've got Anticipate. 1 and a blue. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest of the bottom of your library in any order.
Yeah, not horrible.
And then obviously we're going to have a Brainstorm. 1 blue, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order.
Yeah, stacking that deck is great. We have Contact Other Plane. 3 and a blue. You roll a d20. 1 to 9, you draw 2 cards. 10 to 19, you scry 2, then draw 2 cards. 20, you scry 3, then draw 3 cards.
I have to go back to the other deck. Do you even have a D4?
Yeah, I have the bear ones. Remember?
All right.
Yeah, I've got I've got like a D&D set of like the bear ones, and then it's bears and butterflies.
Okay, that sounds like Dan.
Yeah, I love the bears and the butterflies. Yes.
Oh man.
Nat 20. I can say it in this one.
You can.
Me rolling a 4 and yelling Nat 4.
Yeah, just oh man. So the next one we have going on here is Deliberate. I do kind of like this. He's just kind of meditating and thinking. 1 colorless and a blue, scry 2, then draw a card. Not bad.
Then we've got Growth Spiral, green and a blue, draw a card. Then you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield.
I love this card.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like the foil promos that they were handing out. Absolutely love them.
Oh yeah.
This is just really cool artwork. It's always been really cool artwork.
I do want a playmat of that. I have it. I think I've seen them around, but I just keep forgetting to pick one up.
Yeah, that's Growth Spiral definitely just has like a you can't go wrong. Your extra land drop, your draw. It's lovely. Yeah. And scrying, we can generally control what we're getting anyway, so we'll be able to take good advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Harrow as well. 2 and a green. As an additional cost to cast it, you sack a land. You search your library for up to 2 basics, put them on, untap, then shuffle.
I 100% would not want to be on that land.
Yeah, this is the Tyranids one.
Yeah,
artwork. Yeah. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. True. Sloth, you want this one?
Yeah. Next up, we've got Natural Connection. 2 and a green. You can search your library for basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
Yeah. I didn't know about this one. I'm going to have to go and find some of those. More ramp always.
Natural Connection, yeah, it's not a horrible instant. We've also got Opt, just 1 blue. You scry 1, you draw a card. It's everything we like.
Yeah.
Ooh, this art's cool. Otherworldly Gaze. 1 blue. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard, and then the rest back on top of your library in any order, with flashback of 2.
Yeah, I do.
There's so many eyes.
Yeah. We've got Ranger's Guile. Single green. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and hexproof until end of turn.
I'm rubbing off on you, Dan.
One thing in the deck will give protection. One thing and one thing alone, but it's starting.
It's a start.
Yeah. Generally, things that I consider like my lower power, I don't stack in to like protect them at all cost cards. You guys should see the Coma list. The Coma list is a problem. Yeah, the Coma list would make Slothy's heart happy. And then we've got the last instant on this list is Wild Shape. It's 1 green. You choose one until end of turn. Target creature you control has the base power and toughness and becomes that type and gains the ability. You can make it a 1/3 turtle with hexproof, a 1/5 spider with reach, or a 3/3 elephant with trample. So just another version of making things hexproof, turtle mode, engage.
Yeah, I like the art of this actually.
It is really cool artwork. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For my land section, I don't have like anything that's like really worth talking about except for like Halimar Depths. When it enters, you look at the top 3 cards of your library. That does matter for us. Lidjara Mirrorlake is fun because we can sack it. It enters tapped, it taps for a blue, and then you can pay 2 green and a blue and tap it. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it enters with a 1/1. Activate only as a sorcery. Still not horrible.
What's this tabernacle doing in here?
No tabernacle. don't you worry about that. And then
that little tabernacle, don't worry about that.
That little guy. Then the other one that's important for us, not important, but good, is just that Temple of Mystery, just an extra source of scry. Enters tapped, we scry one. It's not horrible. Brian, go ahead and read this Planeswalker.
Ugh.
You say that, but go on.
We have Kiora, Master. Oh, I've seen this one in action. Kiora, Masters of the Depth, 2, green, blue. She's just chilling on a tentacle. Planeswalker Kiora, +1, untap up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target land, -2. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card and or a land card from among them. This is so small writing. From among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. -8. You get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature, then put 3/8/8 blue octopi creature tokens onto the battlefield.
Yeah, it does a lot.
Yeah.
That's a strong emblem. ETB, create, what's that, 24 power?
Mm-hmm.
And you fight with whatever you enter. I pay 1 mana, drop a Llanowar Elf down, and get ready. Get ready, boys and girls. This is gonna hurt.
Then comes 3/8/8s.
Yeah, it's this Planeswalker is not only a great emblem ability, but and again, further evidence that things to shut off ETB are important, because that's a problem for sure.
Good thing I'm making a new stack.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, Kiora's followers, the Kiora Master of the Depths, is just a great card in general, and it's, like I said, it's so on theme. We've got a really, really small sorcery section. It starts off with
one of the cards.
Starts off with Ponder. 1 mana, you look at the top 3 cards of your library, you put them back in any order, you may shuffle and draw a card. Again, it's what we care about doing.
Yeah. We've got Preordain, blue, scry 2, then draw a card.
Then one of my favorite cards I used to use when I played Bill, Serum Visions. Draw a card, scry 2.
Yeah, nice sources of 1 mana scry, which really matter. And then we just have this hyper annoying card. It's Whelming Wave. It's 2 and 2 blue. You return all creatures except Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't like Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah. I'm just going to start summarizing that by calling them Kalos. Return all creatures except for Kalos. There we go. Okay, now, Brian, we'll go back up to our creature section, which is what we're trying to stack this top deck for.
Oh, man, I never knew that Arithmesis was a Kraken.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just everyone rewind to that part. I'll splice it around. Bing, bang, boom. It's all going to be... I'm not going to do that. So anyways, the second one on our list is going to be Augury Owl.
It's not even a real card.
Yeah. It's 1 and a blue.
What set is that?
This one?
Yeah. That's not real.
That's Jumpstart.
Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, baby.
Maybe.
Okay, you had me. You almost had me there.
It's in a bunch. It's in Magic 2011, Vensiverse Cost, Plane Chase, Mystery Booster, Jumpstart. It's actually not in that many things. All right, well, Augury Owl. I, for some reason, have a bunch of them. I don't know why. It's 2 mana. It's a flying 1/1 bird. When it enters, you scry 3, which is scry 4 with our commander, and that's great.
I've seen this guy.
Please.
He looks so weird. Brinolin the Moon Kraken, 6 and 2 blue. Legendary creature, Kraken. When Brinolin the Moon Kraken enters the battlefield, or whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost 6 or greater, you may return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and it has partner.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big CMC tribal.
Big booty.
It's definitely nice, because then we've got a little bit of ability to remove annoying things from the board, like if someone has stack of like Ghostly Prison kind of things, we can at least get one of them back, you know? We've also
Until you play it on the next round.
Yeah, we've also got Charix, who's dummy thick. Charix the Raging Isle is a 2 colorless, 2 blue, Leviathan Crab, 0/17. Spells your opponents cast at target Charix cost 2 more, and then for 3 mana, Charix gets +X, -X, where X is the number of islands you control.
Oof, don't have more than 17.
Yeah. Charix is thick.
Yeah.
It's a blocker that people aren't going to get through. I'll tell you that right now.
Next up, we've got Dakra Mystic, 1 blue for a 1/1 Merfolk Wizard. You can pay blue and tap it to have each player reveal the top card of their library. You may put the revealed cards into their owner's graveyard, and if you don't, each player draws a card.
When did this card get made?
A while ago.
This one was turning into Nyx.
This is probably around the Matrix time. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah. That's true. That is the artwork of it.
Yeah. Do you want the black pearl or the white pearl?
I just like this because we generally are going to know what we're going to want to draw. So, like, we'll know our top card, but it's we'll know that we can throw something away. If someone in our play group is like known for tutoring and stuff like that, this is a great top deck control to be like, put that right to the grave. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like this next card.
Go on to but this little guy? This little guy? You don't need to worry about this little guy.
That's just a little guy.
Yeah. We have Elder Deep Fiend, 8 mana for the Eldrazi Octopus, the Eldrazi. It's got Flash. It has Emerge for 5/2 blue. You can cast it by sacking a creature and paying the Emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost, which in this deck lets you really throw this out for free a lot of times.
Or at least 2 blue.
No, it's reduced by that creature's CMC, so you've got all the Krakens.
Oh, even the colors. Yeah. Oh.
When you cast it, tap up to 4 target permanents. First off, hilarious to do to people in their upkeep so that they don't get their lands. It's very funny.
And you ask people who hurt them.
What? No untap for Giacomo? Yeah, Elder Deep Fiend is pretty great. I like it a lot. We also, and especially a lot of the times, we're not even going to care about our things because we're untapping every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. We've got Elvish Piper as well. It's 3 and a green
Obviously.
For a 1/1 Elf Shaman. Pay 1, you can put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. The deck's about cheating. I don't know what to say. You got to cheat those cards into play.
Is there something you need to tell Kaylin?
Yeah, exactly. I made the deck for Kaylin. Oh, no. Oh.
She catches the underlying meaning to this deck. Is there secretly 102 cards in this deck?
No, that's... I was out of sleeves. I'm into your sleeves, which only have 100.
We got sorry?
I was going to say, take this next one here, Brian.
So we got Harbor Serpent, 4 and 2 blue. Creature Serpent with Island Walk. Do you know what? I haven't been seeing a lot of creatures that have like a land type of walking recently. But Harbor Serpent can't attack unless there are 5 or more islands on the battlefield. And it's a 5/5. Looks very angry.
It does look very angry.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, he's very angry at this guy. Like, you just woke me up. Like, what's going on here, guy?
You want this one here, Slothy?
I sure do. I love this card. Next up, we've got Hullbreaker Horror, 5 double blue for a 7/8 Kraken Horror with Flash. This spell can't be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand.
We have a lot of 1-drop, like, scry draw.
Yep.
We have a lot of those. That's going to be rough. And especially it's a 7/8, like it's thick.
Yeah.
All of them are thick. Well, majority.
Yeah, there's some really big power and toughnesses in here. The next we have is Icebreaker Kraken. It's 10 and 2 blue. It costs 1 less for each snowland you control, which is probably, I'm going to likely replace all the lands in the deck with snow just for this card alone. Worth it.
I'll have to get them back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Worth it. It costs 1 less for each snowland you control. It's an 8/8. When it enters artifacts and creatures target opponent controls don't untap during that player's next untap step, which is hilarious. And then you return 3 snowlands you control to their owner's hand, and you can return it to its owner's hand.
That's cool.
Yeah. I like this card a lot. It's very ominous looking.
Yeah, it almost like I don't know, for some reason, like just with maybe the sizing of the card that's on my screen, like the face that's in the center almost looks like a conquistador with like a helmet, and then you just see like the little mustache and nose.
True.
My imagination's going wild. Next up, we got Inkwell Leviathan, 7 and 2 blue. Obviously, artifact creature Leviathan, Island Walk and Trample, and Shroud, 7/11.
Yeah. That's a very big
like
card.
this at all.
Next up, we got Cami of the Crescent Moon. Double blue for a 1/3 legendary spirit. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player... Oh, it's a group hug deck.
Yeah,
that player draws an additional card. Seems fair and balanced.
It is a group hug card.
I was just reading I love Cami of the Crescent Moon. We'll throw that in first. But I was just reading the flavor text for the Inkwell Leviathan. Into its maw went the 7th sea, never to be seen while the world remains.
Yeah, they're big. They're real big.
They drink an entire sea.
Brian, you take this next one because I feel like it's something you would enjoy. And because I don't want to try pronounce Kadera.
That's what I would have given back to you. Yeah, so we got
the Get Wrecked Leviathan.
Cataract. Maybe that's it. Cataract?
Cataract, yeah.
Leviathan. Kederekt. Come on, wizards. Throw it in random letters. 6 and 2 blue. When Cataract Leviathan enters the battlefield, return all other non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Unearth for 6 and a blue. Dan, you don't like Cyclonic Rift, but I'm seeing a theme in this deck.
This hits me too.
So you're going to play them all over again.
Potato Leviathan. Yeah, and then it's got Unearth as well.
Mm-hmm.
For even cheaper. Oh, I have to take the next one because it's an amazing card. So good. Mm-hmm. And I've recently bought a lot of these. It's Koma, Cosmos Serpent. Probably one of the most annoying cards in Magic. It's 3 colorless, 2 blue, 2 green for a 6/6 Serpent. It cannot be countered. At the beginning of each upkeep, you create a 3/3 blue Serpent creature token named Koma's Coil. Sack another Serpent, you choose one. Tap target permanent, its activated abilities can't be activated, or Koma gains indestructible. And this makes them at each upkeep, not each of your upkeeps, each upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Koma's a problem card for sure, and so annoying. And generally, it's they try to make it a little fair by costing it really, really high at 7, but we're going to drop it for 4.
You're playing green.
Yeah, we're going to drop it for 4.
Yeah.
That's an exile on site card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen this one before. Kraken of the Straits. 5 and 2 blue. Creatures with power less than the number of islands you control can't block Kraken of the Straits. And it is 6/6.
I like that one.
Yeah. We've got Llanowar Elves, single green. Tap it to add green.
Are you looking at the next one, Brian?
No, I'm reading the flavor text of the Kraken of the Straits. Thassa felt no need to punish the sailors for their folly in crossing the straits. The Kraken would do it for her.
Me playing this game drunk with power on literal Kraken rum?
Yeah. Oh, they came out with there's a limited edition ceramic bottle.
Of Kraken?
Yeah. I saw it this morning. I'm going to be looking for that.
I will maybe have to check that out. I love Kraken rum. It's really good rum.
Hey, free advertisement, Kraken.
Yeah. We have Lorthos the Tidemaker, which enables me to do one of my favorite things in this game, and that's wreck people's games. If you have Awakening out so that you get your, if you have something that gives you that untap, Wilderness Reclamation, for instance, Lorthos just makes it so you can ruin someone's game. Lorthos is 5 triple blue for an 8/8 octopus. Very good stats for an octopus. When Lorthos the Tidemaker attacks, you may pay 8, again, on theme for the octopus. If you do, you tap up to 8 target permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. So you can just consequence-free keep someone's lands tapped down for the rest of the game. You don't even have to attack that player. You can just do it just for fun. Just for funsies.
I wonder if they actually just magically pick to the number 8, or if they're like, octopus have 8 legs.
No,
will.
I'm sure it was on theme.
Yeah.
Behold the octopod.
Hey. But
Slothy.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Mesmerizing Benthid. 3 double blue for a 4/5 octopus. When Mesmerizing Benthid enters battlefield, create 2/0/2 blue illusion creature tokens with whenever this creature blocks a creature. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and Mesmerizing Benthid has hexproof as long as you control an illusion.
I love this card.
Yeah.
I really want more of these cards.
At first I was like, what am I looking at here? But then I realized it's the big octopus, and then the illusions are the little ones floating around it. That. I love the art. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I really want a bunch of these in foil.
Oh, if just the jellies.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really cool one. We've also got where did my list go? We've got a Nadir Kraken, which is really weird artwork too. 1 double blue for a 2/3 Kraken. Whenever you draw a card, you can pay 1. If you do, you put a 1/1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token.
It's all just funneling them all to its mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of the tentacles, behold them.
You are, surprisingly, like, you are making like copies of stuff. I'm surprised like a doubling season's not in here.
No, you could go that pretty easy, and like it would be really fun to put like things like Clone Legion, like any of the big like double ones, Rites of Replication, any of those things. That would be really cool. But I just wanted to play Octopus Roulette. I'm a simple man.
Oh, this one's so cool. Octavia Living Thesis, 8 and 2 blue. Elemental Octopus. The art looks amazing, actually. This spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instants or sorcery cards in your graveyard, and ward 8. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn. And Octavia is an 8/8.
This way we can make our commander a legendary or an honorary octopus to slap people with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Octavias are really cool, and I think Octavia would be fun to make a commander on just in general, like as its own deck.
That Ward 8.
Ward 8 is something you can't get around that. What are you going to do, pay 9 to attempt to exile it?
Right?
That's rough.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I love this name.
What, the next
Please.
one?
Yeah.
You take this next one too, Brian.
Octoprophet.
Behold the Octoprophet.
I had no idea they had a profit for octopus. 3 and a blue. And it's an octopus. Whenever Octoprophet enters the battlefield, scry 2.
It's everything we like in this deck. It's the tribe we want. It's low cost enough to get it out in general. It's got good scry. I love it.
The name does it for me.
And it is the Octoprophet. He foretells the coming of the Krakens.
I was wondering if you were to have this card in here. I like that you do.
Oh yeah, this one. I feel like this one's almost a must-have in like tribal or creature-heavy decks like that. It's Realm Walker. So we've got 2 and a green for a shapeshifter, which and a 2/3. It's got changing, so it's every card type. As it enters, you choose a creature type. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast spells of the chosen type from your top of your library. Generally speaking, we're going to choose, obviously, like Kraken or Octopus. We seem to have a lot of those. But it's just that ability to look at the top one.
You can also bounce stuff back, so you can even change it up, all depending if you really wanted to.
Well, we're trying to cast those big things for 4, right? So just knowing that something's up there when we trigger that ability is going to matter so much more.
I didn't see this guy in New Capenna. This is cool.
Yeah.
You want to take this one, Slothy?
Yeah, sure. We got Reservoir Kraken. 2 double blue for a 6/6 Kraken with trample and ward 2. At the beginning of each combat, if Reservoir Kraken is untapped, each opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. If they do, tap Reservoir Kraken and create a 1/1 fish creature token with this creature can't be blocked.
Fish City!
This is hilarious.
Yeah. Do you want to tap it, double it, or pass it on?
Magic Carp finally became useful.
Yeah, I like this one. I really like the ward mechanic. I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just can't believe you make a fish. A fish? Yeah, fish you.
These are fishy plays, Brian.
Yeah.
Let me be. We also have Scourge of Fleets, which is also just Nightmare Fuel artwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 double blue for a 6/6 Kraken. When it enters, return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less, where X is the number of islands you control. Yeah, right? Right?
Yeah.
Saying a theme that I don't like. Oh, obviously you got to add this guy in here. Sea Dasher Octopus, 1 and 2 blue. You can mutate him, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Let me tell you, this is another great way to make Kenessos an octopus.
Yeah,
true.
Kenessos doesn't lose the ability when it mutates.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the octopus hat. It's always needed. Right?
Yeah. Just him walking around.
The next one's interesting as well. We've got Serpent of the Endless Seas. It's 4 and a blue for a star serpent. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of islands you control. It can't attack unless defending player controls an island.
Yep.
Which makes sense when they're sea serpents. If you don't have islands, then really what are you doing?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Next up, we've got Shark to Crab. 2 green and blue for a 4/4 Shark Octopus Crab. It's got 2 green and a blue to adapt 1. And whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Shark to Crab, tap target creature opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during that controller's next untap step.
Talking about things of nightmares. Like, whoever thought of this design for this thing is... They should make one of those, like, C-rated movies with this guy as the bad guy. Next up, we got Shipbreaker Kraken, 4 and 2 blue. You can make it monstrous by 6 and 2 blue, for monstrosity 4. If this creature isn't monstrous, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it, and it becomes monstrous. When Shipbreaker Kraken becomes monstrous, tap up to 4 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step for as long as you control Shipbreaker Kraken. I do enjoy like the ability to kind of prevent attacks or like to hard tap stuff down. I used to do that within my reanimator deck, like killing off the white dragon from Kamigawa to basically just keep everything tapped, bring it back, sack it again whenever they could untap their stuff.
One of my cards didn't scan into the deck, so I'm going to just read it. It's Stormtide Leviathan. There is one of those in the deck. Stormtide Leviathan is 5 triple blue. It's an 8/8 Leviathan with Island Walk, and all lands or islands in addition to their other types, and creatures without flying or Island Walk can attack.
I don't know. That doesn't check out. That'd be 101 cards.
It would be 101 cards.
It's no, I can't remember what I took out for it. I think the Silver Raven's not in the deck anymore. A wink, wink. I promise you, Stormtide is in that list, though. Do what you want with the map, but Stormtide Leviathan's in the list.
As soon as you mentioned that, I was like, I want to scroll to the top.
Yep.
Okay, well, Silver Raven, I'm pretty sure isn't in the deck anymore. But if it is in the deck, it is a 1 blue for a 1/1 bird. When it enters, you scry 1. I'm pretty sure I took that out.
I was gonna wonder why it was in there.
It's like scry. I'm pretty sure that's what I took out for Stormtide, and I forgot to put in that because I needed Stormtide.
Ooh, this guy looks like a big bad. Simic Sky Swallower, 5, green blue, flying, trample Shroud, 6/6.
Yeah.
Shroud is a big problem on creatures. Like, Shroud built right in is rough, and a 6/6 flying trampling Shroud is also rough, especially that it comes down for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. We've bred out the shortcomings of the species' natural form and replaced them with assets of our own designed.
Yeah, Momir Vig's wild. Yeah, there's some great flavor text in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Slothy, you want this next one here?
Yeah. So we got Slin Voda, the Rising Deep, 6 double blue for an 8/8 legendary Leviathan. It's got Kicker for 1 and a blue. When Slin Voda, the Rising Deep, enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return all creatures to their hands, or to their owner's hands, except for Merfolk, Kraken, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents.
Yeah, this even leaves our unhat-wearing commander alone. I love it. I love it so much. The next card, super problematic. Super problematic.
Yeah.
Can't be. Must be removed from this deck immediately. Like, if this hits the field in a game where someone's playing like this, it's got to go. Spawning Kraken, a 6/6 Kraken for 6. And whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent deals combat damage to a player, you create a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token.
Oh, so if you make your unblockable fish into an octopus.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's amazing.
All you've got to do is just, like, these things are big. Like, even if they're not unblockable, they're still, like, generally, like, between 6/6 and, like, 8/8. So that's a problem swinging it. Most people don't have a board state that can withstand something wild like that.
No, I don't think I've seen this card before. We got the Reality Chip, 1 and a blue. Legendary artifact creature, Equipment Jellyfish. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the Reality Chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. You can reconfigure 2 and a blue and attach to a creature you control or unattach it. Unattach it from a creature, reconfigure only as a sorcery. While attached, this isn't a creature, and it's a 0/4.
Yeah, reality ship's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Tolarian Terror. 6 and a blue for a 5/5 serpent. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, and it's got Ward 2.
And it's 5/5. Big thick Kraken.
Yeah.
Serpent Kraken. We have
After a number of treaties on sea serpent morphology, were swiftly revised.
True.
Oh, that's funny.
We also have Trench Gorger. 6 double blue for a 6/6 Leviathan with trample. When it enters, you can search for any number of lands, exile them, shuffle. If you do, Trench Gorger's power and toughness become equal to the number of cards exiled this way.
That guy looks terrifying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All these things are nightmare fuel for sure.
Except for this last one that looks like an owl / turtle / dragon.
Yeah.
Or in the face.
Go on and take its name, Brian.
Tromocratus? Tromocratus?
I'm going to take your word for it. Tremocritus? I don't know.
5 and 2 blue, legendary creature Kraken. Those names that we said before has hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking. Tromocratus can't be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls block it. Gross.
Super annoying, yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. No, so this is my Kraken roulette deck. It seems very fun to me.
See why?
It's also like a wildly budget deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like even especially if you take out Training Grounds, this is like a around $120 deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not very much. Like your commander's $10, your artifacts are $10, your creatures are $66, your enchantments are $53, and again you could probably slim that down without. Oh yeah, enchantments are 34 of it, 35 of it's Training Grounds alone. $5 of instants. Yeah, it's like nothing. Oh, and then your lands count as $15. So yeah, like this deck is not extremely expensive to make. Like
apparently you have a salt summary of 27.73.
Is that a small one? Is that average salt? Average salt's 36. We're not even salty. Everyone's on board until they start getting.
There's so many cards that
until they
seem to be salty in here.
Me reading this, hey, this is not very salty. Me explaining how to play the deck. All right, so you're going to want to Lorthos tap down people's lands and never let them untap. Doesn't matter if that player has wronged you. Might they play Cyclonic Rift? Never again. Go ahead. Tap 7. There. Do it. I dare you.
They're never untapping again?
Yeah.
I'm amazed that with the cards that are in here, your average CMC is 4.
It's pretty low. Yeah, it's like shockingly low curve-wise. But we do have...
Even though like the number of 1-drops is like 15.
Is that what it is? Yeah. We got a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like I said, it's just a very fun deck. You've got a ton of top deck control. So you're... Like, we've got a really, really basic land base because you don't really need to worry as much when half the deck is committed to seeing what's on top of your deck, right? You're going to control really, really easily. Another one that I was considering putting in is, I can't remember the name of the card, but it's an enchantment when you, give me 2 seconds. You guys chat while I find this.
I'm actually surprised by the number of lands that you have in the deck.
I'm surprised with the amount of instants you have in the deck.
There we go.
That is very surprising in all honesty.
Still not a single counter spell, but we're getting there.
You don't need it.
He put it in protection.
That's true. He's getting there.
It is Into the Wilds. Into the Wilds, the card I definitely knew off the top of my head, is another card that should be in a deck like this. It's 3 and a green. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it onto the battlefield. That's going to be phenomenal for scrying because then we're not going to miss land drops. We're going to have so much stuff. Let's just pretend that's in the deck as well.
It is 102 cards. Nice.
Oh.
Let's just pretend that might be in the deck. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's in the deck.
Well, it's good to see that you don't actually have enough like cards that actually have the code word island on them or keyword island on them to kill your guy. You only have 10.
Which one? With Charix?
Yeah.
Ryan, you didn't listen to Stormtide Leviathan, did you? Stormtown Leviathan, the card very clearly in the deck, is all islands or all lands are islands in addition to their other types for everyone.
Oh yeah, then your guy's dying. I get it.
Yeah, Charx is going to die for sure, but so are my opponents.
It checks out.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that back into that list right now, and we're going to pretend it was never gone.
Get rid of your bird.
Stormtide, Leviathan, and Into the Wilds. There we go.
I love how it updated me that it was added.
Oh, you guys got that live update?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Deck size 102.
No, there's only 100 cards in this deck. You guys have got to believe me. So the Raven's gone, and what else did I take out? I think, to be honest, I took Cameo. I don't think it fit in the deck.
That kind of makes sense.
All right, so Cammy's gone. We're pretending Cammy was never in there. Yep, there we go. Easy peasy. Life's good.
They could just get rid of Kiora.
No, that card's wicked. But yeah, no, that is my Kraken's Leviathan, my Kalos deck. It's pretty fun. Like, again, this is just a really cool ability to trigger. You don't need to really worry about. You could even run this deck in mono blue, or even make like a mono green, like only green mana for it, which would be really, really entertaining to be able to play out a bunch of these huge blue pip creatures with only green mana in the deck. Like, you could run just forests. Well, I guess you need to get Kenessos out. 32 forests, 1 island.
I'd be able to have the duels. Or not actual duels, but the forest islands.
Anything. Yeah, it's like I said, I like that you don't so much have to worry about like what mana's available for this ability. 4 is definitely, I think, a pretty low cost to be able to reveal these cards like into play. And it's gonna let you like we're not running a lot of instants and stuff. Like, I don't generally put a lot of my control stuff into instants with my more like fun decks. But like, just even the fact that we can do like that, like Cataract Leviathan at instant speed. If someone's like trying to swing out and kill us, and I know it's at the top of my deck, or I know it's in my hand and I've got a brainstorm, I can brainstorm, put it on top, and be like, all right, I reveal this, bring this in, all non-land permanents. Gives you some interesting like lines of play to get things in at instant speed. You can do it whenever. You can save it. It also makes it very dangerous to try attack into you, because no one knows what you're going to be whipping off the top. Like, you could be, again, getting like an Inkwell Leviathan. You could drop a 7-11.
There's so many creatures that when they come in, return everything.
Yeah, there's a lot that are problematic cards.
It's more like Cyclonic Roulette.
Cyclonic Roulette, yeah. It's like I said, it's a very fun deck. It functions really well. Next week we're doing the Trelasara, and it's another Scry themed one.
La.
Yeah, Trelasara. It's but they Scry just gives you so much more consistency, right? That's what I always say, like, is the best part of like I think the C in CEDH stands for consistent. If you consistently do what you need to do, then all you need to do is change what you're doing, and then you win, right? Like,
Yep.
So the Scry, especially that extra Scry, is going to really, really get you to what you need so fast in this.
I feel it.
Plus, the Octoprophet's super fun to play.
Yeah, that card just seems so funny.
Hail the Octoprophet.
Oh, bad.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a wicked deck. You want to, generally speaking, you want to try and like rip through the deck to get to that Kiora, or to get to like Kiora, Wilderness Reclamations, a Training Ground, the Awakening, anything that's letting you have those untaps, because like, short of an Eldrazi deck, your friends aren't going to be able to compete with your army of 8/8s. You know what I mean? Like, it's just unless you're playing against someone who has board wipe tribal, in which case tap their lands down with Lorthos every turn.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to let them fire again.
Yeah, exactly. They get one. It's
one.
Yeah, everybody gets one. No, I really like this deck. I thought it was a really, really cool card. Slothy, I think, has a version he's making as well for this one. Yeah, like,
I'm excited.
It's this deck I found like built itself. Like, it's just it's such an easy path of just like, you've got 4 tribes to pick from, kind of thing. You could really dump a lot of cool shapeshifters into here. I loved it.
Yeah, I really like this commander. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Brian? Not enough Cyclonic Rifts? Where's my Force of Negation?
Yeah. No, this actually seems really cool, and at least gives a house or a home to a creature type or multiple creature types that you never really get to see.
Yeah, right. It's definitely, this is like definitely like a Timmy deck, like where you're just gonna drop things down, slap the table. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually get to play against this deck.
Sweet. Well, that will be next week. I'm thinking Dean wasn't free to stream this weekend, but we'll probably stream next weekend, and I'll play this one and a few of the other new ones, like a few of the other Jumpstart commanders. But yes, I will, from there, wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, so much for getting to the end of our episode. We always appreciate it. If there's any of these cards in the deck that you find a little too expensive, check out abyssproxyshop.com. Promo code IT99. But this is a pretty cheap deck, so just head on in, buy and build your own version. It's going to be like a pretty cheap deck to put together and play. If you want to check out any of our other content, it's all up on our website. Check out our videos we put up on YouTube. It's really, really fun playing Magic with my friends, so having like new cameras to stream them with has always been a great time. I think one of the videos this week is when Slothy was over playing, so it's a very fun one with more of us than just myself. And yeah, it's been a good year. So welcome back, everyone. After the actual New Year stuff, we are happy to be back into the swing of things, and we got lots of fun stuff coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me know on Instagram what's cracking, and maybe I'll send you a card. Later, guys.
Peace.
Yeah.